Lesson 32. The Torah says, there is a kind of pressure. It does not come from events. It comes from not knowing what will happen next. This pressure is quiet at first. It does not shout. It tightens, in the chest, in the throat, behind the eyes. And most people, when they feel this, do not recognize it. They do not say, I am entering uncertainty. They say, I need to do something. So they move. They speak. They intervene. They push for resolution. They call it strength. They call it leadership. But the Torah calls it something else, the inability to remain steady inside what is unfinished. That is the difference between true authority and reaction. Because the Torah does not teach you to control the world. It teaches you to remain aligned within it while it is still forming. That is a far greater kind of power. The human being wants certainty the way the body wants air. When things are clear, the mind relaxes. When things are uncertain, the system becomes defensive. It begins to believe that if clarity does not come quickly, then safety has been lost. And from that belief, a person begins to act, not from wisdom, but from panic that wants order. The Torah reveals this pattern not to judge you, but to stabilize you. Because you are not failing when you feel this pressure. You are simply standing at the threshold of something that has not yet finished revealing itself. And that moment, right there, is where most people lose their center. They believe the world is asking for force, but the Torah is asking for something quieter. Steadiness before movement. Let's be precise. There is a moment when a person stops trusting the moment and begins to trust only his own urgency. That is where alignment ends and strain begins. He starts to believe, if I do not take control here, the situation will collapse. That is the inner story of the unstable leader. But the Torah teaches, the moment does not collapse because you waited. It collapses when you abandon clarity for speed. Because speed is a substitute for grounding. And grounding is what allows a person to remain steady in the face of uncertainty without feeling erased by it. That is inner authority. Most people confuse movement with strength. They think that doing something means they are still in control. But the Torah defines strength very differently. Strength is the ability to remain aligned with what is real, even when the outcome is not yet visible. This kind of power creates relief, not pressure. It allows the moment to clarify itself, instead of being dominated by fear. Let's talk about what happens inside a person when outcomes are unclear. Because the Torah does not only address behavior, it addresses your inner state. The first thing that appears is not thought. It is disorientation. A sense that the ground beneath you has become less stable. That something is shifting, and you cannot yet see what shape it will take. This sensation is subtle, but if you do not know how to stay with it, you will try to escape it. And the fastest escape from uncertainty is control. So the person grabs the wheel. He leads too early. He decides too quickly. He overrides the moment before it has settled. And what could have become clear now becomes distorted by urgency. This is the cost of instability, not failure, but exhaustion. Because the one who must control every moment lives in permanent tension. He does not trust life. He manages it. He does not respond. He reacts. And the Torah does not want you to live like that. It wants you to discover a deeper form of leadership, the ability to remain steady inside yourself while reality is still unfolding. That is the highest kind of inner authority. The Torah says, clarity is not created by pressure. It is created by alignment, and alignment must be maintained, not forced. So when you feel uncertain, your task is not to fix the moment. Your task is first to return to steadiness. Because only from steadiness does clarity arise. That is leadership. That is rescue. That is strength in its pure form. You have been blessed today with the ability to remain steady when outcomes are still forming, and to let your quiet coherence guide the moment forward. Let it settle.